This is the first of the Prussian princess battles in the beta flash tournament number 90, a 36-man tournament. Agony Prussian Prince is bringing the Eastern Roman Empire, but he can only bring 2 Tagmata. Atheas of Agartha is bringing the Alans. Max 4 of the same unit, max 10 cavalry. I believe there was also max 10 skirmish unit rule, but it's not like that's going to play a huge part. Max 6 pikes. So one player is attacker, one is defender. I don't know which is attacker or defender here, but I think we will see both players going head to head. So for the Prussian Prince's army, we have, of course, 2 Tagmata cavalry on each flank. Then we have Equites Promoti, Palatinae, 4 Palatinae, 2 Promoti, and 1 Magister Militum Brace. So we have a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 melee cavalry. He also has a fairly strong infantry line of 4 Numeroi and 2 Protectores. He's given each of them a bronze chevron. And then he has Tagmata, double silver, double bronze on the rest of his cavalry, 1 bronze on this Palatinae, and 1 on the Magister. For Atheas, we have vanilla Sarmatian Cataphracts, Germanic Horse, triple upgrades on the Germanic Horse here. I assume his left flank is the same, 2 Germanic Horse, 1 Sarmatian Cataphract. Germanic Noble General, elite Agartha warriors, 4 of those, interesting choice. Then he has 4 Germanic archers, 1 Germanic crossbow, and 4 Germanic pikes in the front. So already Prussian Prince is doing the correct thing here when facing pike, center, and skirmish. Just spread out and surround the pikes. Atheas will be hard pressed to respond to what the Prussian Prince is doing here, because he's just so outmatched in cavalry. He has these Sarmatian Cataphracts, great charge, but their staying power is non-existent. And he doesn't really have any good units to support his cavalry with. I mean, sure, the elite Agartha are going to do a lot of damage to enemy cavalry on the charge, but if they get charged themselves, they will get wrecked. Now, Atheas could potentially take cavalry engagements and then support with Agartha. That could be effective for him. So if he was able to isolate the units of the Prussian Prince here, I mean, these Agartha would just wreck Numeroi. The problem is, though, that Atheas needs to defend from the cavalry of the Prussian Prince. The Prussian Prince doesn't need to defend anywhere. He can just spread out, pull back if Atheas pushes, and slowly start surrounding Atheas. So the player with the more defensive build, like Atheas has here, is definitely going to be at a disadvantage. And I don't quite understand the elite Agartha. I mean, they can be super nice together with pikes. They can charge out through the pikes and wreck enemy infantry units. However, bringing this many skirmishers, 5 skirmishers, 4 shock infantry, and only having 6 cavalry to protect them, only 4 melee cavalry, that's a bit of a strange choice to me. Because, well, now the Prussian Prince is going to slowly surround, keep a light holding force in the center, and since Atheas has to protect his flanks, he doesn't have the option of dealing with these units frontally. So these units are going to be able to hold his center in place, while the rest of the Prussian Prince's army moves around. The Prussian Prince need to be a bit careful with the cavalry, of course, because of these. The range on these Germanic archers is absolutely ridiculous. You can see it already. They are just about to get in range here of the Skulae, but the Prussian Prince sees it and he pulls them away. So this is something that Atheas could do. He could keep the Prussian Prince at bay for as long as possible, using his Germanics. But it's only going to be a matter of time until the Prussian Prince starts moving into his rear. And over here now, these Germanic archers are way out of position. Huge mistake by Atheas. And that's it for his Germanic archers, basically.
Quickly now!
2 Germanic archers off the field. Equites Promoti charging into the Germanic horse. Germanic horse gets a great charge on the Equites Promoti, but infantry support is there for the Prussian prince. It's not there for Atheas yet. He does send his Agartha, and here comes the cavalry charge, trying to get at the Protectores, but very nicely done here in intercepting it by the Prussian prince. Now he's going to get charged, however. So in this engagement, the Prussian prince should be able to do well if he uses his brace general. But he needs to be really careful about these elite Agartha. Getting 3 kills on the charge there. The fair effect is going to come into play. Over here though, Atheas isn't going to do great in this engagement. He's just getting surrounded by cavalry units, and the Prussian prince is able to engage at will. Here the numeroi come in, very important to support the fight. Elite Agartha will do well against engaged cavalry units, but this cavalry unit, these Equites Promoti, they are going to do a number on the elite Agartha. The Agartha actually managed to throw a very nice volley, so they're still taking. Oh, they're dying. So the few cavalry units that Atheas have are getting surrounded, and I like what the Prussian prince is doing here in always supporting his cavalry fights with infantry and using infantry to block pikes and such from coming in. It's a very nice move by the Prussian prince, and Atheas isn't able to respond with his pikes here and use them to support these fights. So at this point in the battle, the pikes are useless. The elite Agartha, they are getting kills, but they're getting ganged up on and losing against 2 numeroi, of course. The general of Atheas got charged. This is another battle coming down to having the advantage in mobility. Having the superior mobility was the Prussian prince, and it's going to be really hard for Atheas. Sure, he made some mistakes, like here he's just walking his archers out. He did lose his archers way too early, but also in terms of build, only having 4 melee cavalry is very dangerous in Attila. Super dangerous. The pikes are fighting here, but they're going to be losing up against the numeroi. The numeroi are already inside their ranks, and the flaming arrows are now actually going to be making the units of Atheas rout quicker than they would be if the flaming arrows weren't in effect. So not very important at this point. Here you can see the long range of the Germanic archers doing damage to the Magister Militum. But overall, the numeroi, they're into the Germanic crossbows. The elite Agartha are dying, weren't able to be as effective as they needed to be. And the same with the Germanic archers, they're just going to get swamped by cavalry now. The pikes are moving into support, but it's a bit too late. They aren't really getting any kills against the heavily armored numeroi. And here the numeroi chasing away the remaining skirmishers of Atheas. So that's how you deal with pikes. Just move around the pikes and surround, basically. It's going to be very difficult for the pike player to deal with, and that's why I don't like bringing more than 2 pikes. 2 pikes, strong infantry, strong cavalry, great. 4 pikes and too many skirmishers, very difficult to make work against the cavalry. So the Prussian prince brings 10 cavalry here, massive kills on his numeroi, good kills on his protectores, massive kills on all his cavalry units. But you can see how underperforming the army of Atheas was here. He was outmatched in cavalry, he was outmatched in infantry, and that cost him the game. Good game to both players. We'll see what the Prussian prince can do in the next battle in round number 2. Strength and honor.